It's 9:54 a.m. April 25th. So a piece of this is also in their realm of controlled information is they're trying to keep stuff under the government's radar because highly illegal shit has happened to me and they've stolen shit tons of money. So they're trying to turn it into a game. They're looking for ways to kill witnesses. They're challenging them to bets and game up deaths and all this and that. Their goal is to kill witnesses or blackmail witnesses, tie their hands, and their goal is to keep it out of the government's radar and keep real professional investigators out of it. They only want corrupt involved, and they only want people they can blackmail involved, or corrupt people who will lie because they're being blackmailed or bribed. They don't want real government officials involved and real experts involved because they have all of these manipulation tactics they utilize. So they involve parents, they involve their children, they involve people who will pretend to be expert investigators and confidence men and swindlers. And part of the reason they're doing this is so they can pull the cover over people's eyes. That's the whole reason they're trying to keep it out of the government's radar. That's the reason they're trying to keep real professional experts who can't be hand-tied out of this situation. So they have parents, they have their children, they have pretend to be experts, pretend to be law enforcement, and then they're trying to run these court systems underground and covert into underground communities who know of the crimes committed on me, the theft of my property, etc., etc. And then they're using impersonation tactics. They're using impersonation of law enforcement tactics. And then they're using parents and their children to oversee something because then they're using manufactured evidence, impersonation tactics, manufactured impersonation, or they're using impersonation through manufacturing and other tactics and peddling slander and this and that, where you don't go to prison for perjury, where you don't go to prison for manufacturing evidence, where you don't go to prison for misrepresenting evidence, where you don't go to prison for tampering with evidence or destroying evidence when these people should have been in prison years ago. So they're running this unprofessional environment and this court system, and then even arming people with weapons in it, and then just using disinformation and manufactured evidence, and maybe trying to, and then using catering to different communities, and trying to accrue muscle, I guess, so that they can kill the opposition or silence the opposition with covert witness tampering tools, drugging, murder, blackmail, etc. And this is highly illegal, and they're all trying to cover up all this money they stole that's really mine, related to my intellectual property, my data, gifts for me because I'm supposedly some betting mule illegally against my will. And they're using me in multiple gambling rings, so that's a piece of it. So if your gambling ring was friendly, I'm not talking about you. Granted, you are invading my privacy, but there's money and property. I didn't receive it. But they're trying to do this covertly and handle it covertly with people who aren't experts so that they can then take advantage of them, pull the cover over their eyes, and then get away with large sums of money, kill the witnesses who know, blackmail the witnesses, or drug the witnesses to death to where their brain no longer functions. So that's another piece of this shebang, is them trying to handle this covertly or internally without experts present and without people who are objective overseeing whatever's going on, so that they can blackmail, manipulate, muscle people, slander people, manufacture evidence, and carry out illegal and unethical processes in order to aid these criminals in their agendas. Because some of them are also trying to acquire large sums of money for a global terrorist agenda, as well as illegal weapons manufacturing and distribution, as well as to further research and highly illegal, unethical, inhumane human experimentation involving implantation, human programming, these new age court systems, and so much more. So that's a big piece of this as well.